Having said that, she will take into consideration recommendations made about the team of experts set up by her department. One of the recommendations, the increasing of the 30% matric pass mark, which has been criticized for being too low. SADU has voiced its support, saying that the country needs to celebrate quality instead of quantity education. We are now joined by Professor Venkat. She's her focus areas in mathematics education and maths literacy from Wits University. Good morning to you. Thank you so much for your time.
Morning, Ayanda.
The report has a number of recommendations. One of the recommendations making mathematics compulsory. It's been a thorny issue. We had a very deep conversation and a heated debate amongst ourselves yesterday about whether or not it's possible for everybody to study maths. What's your opinion?
I'm not sure. I mean, I've seen the reports. We haven't seen the report yet. We've only seen the recommendations that have been printed in the press. The line that I saw was that they want to make maths compulsory for all schools. And it's in a context of concerns that some schools, just like used to happen with the old standard grade, you'd find some schools that didn't offer higher grade at all or would only offer standard grade to their students. We've now got concerns that there are some schools which are only offering mathematical literacy. So actually I'm broadly in agreement with the idea that all schools should offer mathematics, because I find it difficult to believe in any school that there are no learners who can actually access and do mathematics. So at the level of the school, I would absolutely welcome it. Whether the recommendations go as far as saying every child should do mathematics, I'm not clear about that from what's been reported already.
Can every child, though, do mathematics? Or are there some who are more inclined or predisposed to be able to do their sums and numbers, and others who simply aren't?
I think every child can do mathematics, but that requires building from the very, very early years, a long way away from matric. I'm talking about the foundation years. I think if we had better experiences of learning mathematics, that would require in turn better experiences of teaching mathematics, I think. I do believe that every child can learn mathematics. It doesn't take away that some people are more predisposed, was the phrase you used, and some children are going to move faster through it. But I do think absolutely that every child can learn mathematics.
Is it necessary? And I'm raising some of the points that were raised during our discussion off air. Is it necessary that every child should have basic maths literacy or a basic understanding of mathematics?
All the evidence suggests now that in the times that we live in, if you are going to be a functioning adult in the world, you do need a basic level of mathematics. To be able to get by, and I'm not talking about trigonometry and calculus. I am talking about that mathematical literacy was the phrase you used. We get bombarded with a lot of numerical information, whether that be on television, in our newspapers, and a basic amount that we have to deal with in our lives to function. And I think preparing people for that is good for the nation. I think that's perfectly possible to do if we have good experiences in school.
You spoke about it being good for the nation. What are the international benchmarks, perhaps, on how other countries are tackling the issue of mathematics in their schools?
Very different across different countries. In South Africa, we have a curriculum that has been benchmarked internationally and actually does quite well. The problem we have is at the level of performance. Our performance is a great deal lower than those international benchmarks. So that's where my sense would be that we need to improve. I hope it is not going to be a question of another round of throwing away the curriculum and starting over, because the curriculum itself I don't think is too bad.
Increasing the standard when it comes to people qualifying for university and the matric pass rate, mark at least, is that going to, do you think, keep people out of universities, away from studies, or will it encourage some to pull up their socks?
It's a danger, and it's always a two-way process. On the one hand, it's accommodating the broadening of higher education that we want in our universities, and on the other hand, it's addressing there's a really weak throughput in the universities in terms of the proportions that make it through their degrees. So we do need that to be better. I think some relooking given what the universities are saying about readiness when students come in the first year, some relooking at that is probably necessary in terms of the entry. But we need to be able to do that in ways that don't block the broadening that we all want to see.
Your area of speciality is mathematics, but it's important for one to grasp language as well in order for you to explain the concepts. So when it comes to language efficiency, is the classroom in and of itself enough for someone to really get the basics and to be able to understand and read and write? Or do we need to take that holistic approach and start at home as well?
I think absolutely we need to start at home. But I think also the evidence is, and again, not just in South Africa, particularly if you are poor, the key place where you can learn traditional knowledge bases, including traditional knowledge, language knowledge bases, is in the school. There are lots of children in our landscape who don't have the additional sites, the outside school sites, the home sites, and the multiple other sites that more middle-class children have. So it is, I think, schools are the key place in which that learning occurs. So it is important that schools do their job and do their job well. That doesn't take away from the fact that we need to be taking a broader adult education approach, lifelong learning approach that says our communities can support that process.
Yeah, thank you so much for that information. Of course, this is a subject that we will continue to tackle. It's something we'll continue to look into, especially the issue of African languages when we look at language proficiency as well. Thank you so much for your time.
We'll
delve a little deeper into this once the Minister has also taken a look at the recommendations and has applied her mind to it. Hamza Venkat, she holds the position of SA Numeracy Chair at WITS, focused on a 5-year research and development project in primary mathematics. Thank you again for your time. All right.